Hello everyone and welcome back to E2E. Today we are continuing our quest for completing advanced rocketry. This episode of the plan is going to be build this rocket over at the launch site. It doesn't need to sit right here. It should probably go where the actual rocket is. And then we're going to get this all set up, fueled up, and ready to go. We are going to launch straight over to the moon and grab some dilithium because that is our next quest right here. We also could try to build the space station assembler, but as you can see, that takes material.dilithium.name dust, which comes from dilithium. So that is what we need to go and gather. So I'm going to go ahead and move this rocket over to the launch site, and then we'll probably have to program our Planet ID chip, fill this up with fuel, and then we'll actually prepare to launch. Alright, there we go. I added a little launch pad right off the offshoot of the main one, and this is where we will be building our rocket. Now, I did just have this powered by a solar panel. I think that's plenty fine. We don't really need that much power for these things anyways. Alright, let's go ahead and reassemble the rocket. I'm definitely not sitting right on top of a fuel tank filled with high explosives, but you know what? It's fine. And we should be able to now scan this. Clear for liftoff. Let's go ahead and build this thing as well to turn it into an actual entity. And there we have it. Now, if we can right-click on this, we are sitting on it. Now, we would press space to take off if I had my spacesuit and we had the actual guidance set. So let's go ahead and set the guidance first. Shift right-click on this and we put in our ID chip. Shift right-click again and then we select destination. Now, it looks like there isn't much around this planet, which is to be expected. So we will select the moon. Looks like we are going to have to discover other ones somehow. Not really sure how that's going to work. I guess we will figure that out this episode, though, because I'm fairly certain we have to build a warp core. I feel like this will allow us to get to other planets, so I guess we'll find out. Anyways, we go ahead and sit on the rocket. Our destination is Luna. Unfortunately, we have no fuel and we don't have our spacesuit, so let me go grab, I believe we need 5 buckets of UU matter, and let's go grab the spacesuit and everything else we need. Alrighty, we have everything we need. Let's go ahead and take off the armor and put on our spacesuit. As you can see, we do not have a lot of oxygen down there, so we are going to need to fill that up, but that is fine. So let's go ahead and put in our fuel. I believe all we have to do is put the buckets in there. Yep, dump in the fuel, and this should take exactly 5 buckets, I believe. Let's go wait for that to fill up. In the meantime, we can go put the gas charge pad down. I also have a portable tank completely filled with oxygen, so I don't think we're going to have to worry about that too much. Let's put this on insert, and then we should be able to just stand on this. Yep, there we go. And that used not too much of our oxygen. I actually don't know how long the oxygen lasts. I'm going to assume that it lasts a pretty long while. Let's check. We have a full tank of fuel. Our coords are unknown to go to the moon. All we have to do now is launch. But there's one more thing we need to do. Alrighty, I say we are about ready. Now, as you can see right here, this is the thing that I need to get. You'll see what that means here in a little bit once we actually launch. So, you know what? I think we're pretty much good to go. We have, let's see, we got our digital miner, we've got our teleporters. I have not placed a teleporter here. You know what? Why don't we just go ahead and place one down? This will be moved eventually, but I would like to test if this actually works. I have not tested if these work between dimensions, so we probably should test that. Yeah, there we go. I don't think we're missing anything, and if we are, we can just take the teleporter. Here we go. Why are my pants, like, not on? I feel like this is not airtight. Oh, it's because there was a dank null there. Okay, thank you, random bugs. Here we go. Off to space we go. I don't know if this is supposed to be making any noise, but it currently isn't, so I'm sure it's fine. And there we go. Looks like we have made it. And looks like we have made it to the moon. Press space to descend. Let's go ahead and do that. Hopefully I'm not lagging out the server by doing this. It does seem kind of twitchy right now, but I'm sure it's fine. Here we are. We are descending. The ground should be loading in here in a second. Looks like I almost just lit myself on fire by the rocket exhaust. And here we are. Looks like we have officially made it to the moon. And boom. Very nice. All right, now let's check our rocket. We used almost no fuel. I really hope this isn't like a display bug and we actually have used no fuel, because if I'm stuck here, that's going to be a problem. Here we are. Nice low gravity here. Can I still fly? Yes, I can. All right, let's go ahead and build the teleporter and check if this thing works. Is that normal? That's a lot of... Okay, you know what? It's fine. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. And it looks like it is active. Let's use it real quick. Yep, works like a charm. And we are back. Would you look at that? All right, next order of business. Let's build our flag. Yep, that's why I brought all this. We're building a flag. Yep, that looks like a pretty good flag to me. Very nice. All right, we can use this as our little base of operations on the moon here. All right, well, the next thing I think we need to do is mine some dilithium. So why don't we try to mine this by hand first, just to see how rare it is, and then we can use our digital miner. And the gravity here is kind of crazy. It really does just like shoot up all the items. I'm gonna try to throw something straight up. Yep, there it goes. Oh my god. And that's pretty interesting. Torches actually burn out on the moon, probably because there's no air here, so we will not be able to see down here. Ah, and there you can barely see it up there. We have our first piece of dilithium. Let's go ahead and mine all this. Dilithium has been acquired. Now, how big of veins do they come in? Ooh, it's actually quite large. Okay, very good, very good. How many did we get? 41 pieces. Now, the real question is, can you send this into any kind of duplication? Looks like the best thing you can get is 1 to 3 with the tectonic initiator. Unfortunately, you need to put petroleum in there, so I don't think we're going to end up doing that. We'll probably just use an enrichment chamber. But, you know, it's kind of dark down here, and I can't really see anything. So let's just go ahead and sprint extremely fast and have my FOV be bouncing all over the place. And let's set up our digital miner. Alrighty, let's go ahead and set the config for this at a new ore dictionary filter. And the ore here is ore dilithium. Go ahead and save that. It is showing up right there. Let's go ahead and start this thing. 8,530 to mine. Wow, that is quite a bit. Okay, why don't we go ahead and grab these dilithium right here. We will come back when we have more of the stuff, and let's just go ahead and head back. So we need to set the destination to Earth. Unfortunately, looks like we don't have our coords set, so we may have to pick up our rocket and move it, which means we did just waste all this fuel. But, I mean, that's fine, I suppose. I mean, we could also maybe program a chip to land back on the landing pad, or maybe it just will. You know what? Let's just find out, whatever. Alright, goodbye, Moon. We shall be back, but I will be taking the teleporter next time. And it looks like just from the map, it does land right back on the launch pad. Very nice. And here we are landing back in the base. Very nice. Now, the fuel still says it's completely full, which is a little sketchy. I don't think that's actually visually working properly. So we might want to be a little careful with that. But there we go. Moon has been traveled to. Dilithium has been acquired. Nice. Now that we actually have this, we can work on the next stuff. And that next stuff is the space station assembler. It is used to assemble space stations. You will need the same setup as for building rockets, the only difference being space stations don't need fuel, and when they're built, they compress into an item form. Then you can set a space station ID chip, you could have a satellite bay, blah, blah, blah. Let's just go ahead and make the space station assembler. We need some dilithium dust, a rocket assembling machine, so we're gonna have to make another one of those. You're gonna need some more titanium gears and some circuits. That's not too bad. And there is our space station assembler. Very nice. Now let's go ahead and claim that quest. Next up, we will build either the warp drive or we start getting some space station stuff. And you know what? Why don't we just go ahead and build a space station? That sounds pretty exciting, and I wanted to do that anyway. That is one of the goals for this episode. So let's just get into that. All right, so since we have the assembler, we can actually build the thing. But we need to be able to travel there, so we'll need an ID chip. We will also need to be able to walk on the ground, so we probably need a gravity controller. And most importantly, we need to breathe, so we need to grab some oxygen vents, and maybe some CO2 scrubbers as well. So let's go ahead and start with the space station ID chip. It's extremely important that you don't lose your ID chip once it has been set to your space station if you lose it. Let's make sure to make like 4 or 5 of these so we can have backup copies. That would be a good idea. Whoa! Okay, so I went ahead and I shift right clicked on that, and then it looks like it gives you a nice little overview. So let's see, add new? I don't know what this means. I'm not really sure how those work, but I guess we will find that out in a second here. Luckily, it can be copied in the satellite builder multi-block. Okay, so I guess that's how you do that. I have no idea. The next thing, let's go ahead and grab an oxygen vent. Oxygen vent, when supplied with oxygen and power, will fill the room with oxygen, given that it's airtight. Size that can be filled with oxygen is limited but large. Yep, that does make sense. So we just need any kind of motor, a fuel tank, a steel fan, and some iron bars. And there we have our oxygen vent. Very nice. And it looks like we also can make a CO2 scrubber. It is basically the exact same thing, except you use a carbon brick this time, which is 6 pieces of charcoal. And the carbon collection is iron sheets and iron bars. There is not a single piece of carbon in this crafting recipe. That does not make any sense. Oh wait, no, that's to collect it. Okay, never mind, I'm just stupid. There's our CO2 scrubber. I did go ahead and move the lathe into that building over there just so we could autocraft some rods, mostly steel, aluminum, and iron rods. So that's pretty convenient. There we go. Collection cartridge acquired. Very nice. Go ahead and claim that as well. Next up, let's do the gravity controller. Lets you control the gravity of the space station. Yes, that should be good. And that is the cheapest recipe ever. Station gravity controller. Yeah, there you go. What is this area gravity controller? Oh, that's a multi-block machine? I have no idea. Go ahead and claim that. Do we really need gravity out there? I'm not really sure. It is a space station after all. All right, go ahead and claim that. Next up, we have the satellite builder. I don't think I'm going to be using satellites, mostly because you don't need to. Not really a whole point to do them if you don't really need them, right? Anyways, to actually build this thing for the quest, it looks like it needs some rather complicated stuff. Okay, I say complicated. It's not really. We just need a motor, an anvil. Anvil's rather odd. Why would we need an anvil for a space station? I'm not really sure. We need that saw blade assembly thing again. We also need a data storage unit, which we need to put a basic circuit, redstone, and emerald in our assembler. And there we have our satellite builder. Very nice. Claim that. And the next and final thing on this area is the Astro Body Data Processor. This is a multi-block machine that is used to research asteroids when provided with information from satellites. Asteroids contain extremely rare metals in abundance. Asteroids have been custom made for this pack. Okay, maybe I might actually want to do that. Maybe I'll do a little bit of looking into that. If there is a way to get titanium faster, that might be a good idea. But then again, we also have the digital miner. There is our Astro Body Data Processor. Very nice. Now we just need to make 3 data buses. And there is our data buses. Very nice. We don't actually have everything we need for the multi-block, but if we ever do intend to make it, we can just come back to here. All right, so that is all of those out of the way. I'm just going to go ahead and put all this stuff that we just made right into here, and we will sort through this here in a second. Next up is the warp core. I believe this is the thing that allows you to travel to all of the other planets. Building a warp core multi-block in your space station will allow you to travel to other planets and solar system. Uses dilithium crystals as fuel. Oh, so we do definitely have to make a space station. So then we can warp to other places to go to the other places. Interesting. Well, I guess we are going to have to go ahead and make this. So we need to we're definitely going to be building this. So let's just go ahead and grab everything we need for this. Input hatch, some machine structures, 2 blocks of gold, 15 blocks of titanium, and the actual warp core, titanium plates, advanced circuits, a copper coil, and steel. That is not a difficult recipe. You know, I kind of expected this to be a lot more expensive considering it's literally warp technology, but never mind, I guess. Anyways, that should be the quest completed because I just got the things that I didn't have, but we do need to grab 4 machine structures and an input hatch. There we go, and that will be everything we need to build the warp core. Okay, let's go ahead and put that up there. So now I've got another idea. Since we do have to build a space station to travel to the other planets, which we do need to do because we need to gather all of the cloth rates plus all of these other ores here. These 5 I can just get. The cloth rates we're going to have to go gather. But since we actually have to build the space station for that, why don't we put all of the portals on the space station? I feel like that would be way more cool, you know? And then we could have like a big portal room, we could have a main area, we could have our satellite bay if we ever want to do that, and then we could have like a resource processing room. I think that would be a pretty cool idea. Since we now have basically everything done, minus the warp controller, I believe this is the thing that actually, used to set the destination for your space station. Let's just go ahead and build this warp controller, and then we can go design a space station. The hard part about designing a space station is it needs to be small, but you can actually just build in space somewhere. So I'm thinking we launch with a small space station, kind of like a core area. Maybe this will be where the oxygen production goes, maybe where power generation is. And then we can just design a bigger area in the creative world and then just paste it in when we're up in space. That seems like a pretty good idea. So let's go ahead and build the warp controller real quick. It looks pretty cheap as well. Basically exactly what we have been building stuff with this entire time. And there we have our warp controller. And claim that quest. Now the next thing is obviously going to be getting all of these ores, but we already have prosperity, dimensional shard, and mana infused just from our void miner. Rare ore found in space. Just kidding. Same thing for you, and same thing for you. Haha, you wish I got those all from my void miner. And looks like we just filled up our first chest with loot chests. Alright, well, with basically everything done over here already, I think let's just go design the space station. That seems like a pretty good idea. Now, the problem is originally I was going to split Advanced Rocketry into 3 episodes, but with everything being done so fast, I don't even think we're going to need to do that. I think we can just knock out everything that I wanted to today. So all we really have left to do, build that space station, put some of those multi-blocks in there, and then we're going to go visit basically every single planet that we can and set up a nice teleporter room for all of them. That seems like a pretty good idea. So let's go design a space station. Alrighty, here we are back into the creative testing world as we basically have been doing every single episode for like the last 5 episodes. Anyways, I have thrown together a quick little mock-up of what the space station is probably going to look like. So what we're going to do, we're going to have 2 large cylindrical rooms, one on each side, with a small section in the middle. These will be where we store all of our houses and our portals and such. And then on each side, we're going to have solar panel arrays. They're not going to be functional, unfortunately. I could try to figure out how to do solar panel multi-blocks so I could do something like this. Maybe I'll look into that. Maybe I won't. Honestly, we'll see what happens when I'm building this. These little knobs here are going to be for airlocks. I would like to be able to get outside of the space station if I ever need to, so we'll add some airlocks on each side of the large cylindrical rooms. One of these cylindrical rooms will be housing all of our portals. According to the dimensions command, as you can see down here, there should be about 20 different planets that we can visit, so we're going to need 20 portals. I did do a little math. If we make this a radius of like 8 or 9, we should be able to fit all the portals in there, and it look nice, and it be kind of compact. So that's probably what we'll end up doing. And then this one is going to be where we put all of our machines. I'm not really sure what machines we need to put in here, but we are going to be needing to put some, so they'll be going into here. Now, oxygen is going to be a problem. We are going to have to put down those vents and things. I did do a little bit of calculations. I should be able to fill one of these rooms with a single mechanism electrolytic separator with 2 RTGs that goes into a condensator with 2 RTGs, and that should be able to keep up. That is the mock-up, so why don't we go ahead and run the time lapse and build the actual space station, and then we can come back and check how closely this little model actually resembles the station. Let's see here. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty close. Here we have the design for the space station right here. I did go ahead and make these solar panels just look cool. They're made out of lapis. They don't actually function. We're going to deal with power later. Probably just going to use RTGs because that is kind of what you use in space anyways, so I guess that does kind of make sense. All right, anyways, we've got some corridors on each side. Those are actually hollow, so we will be able to walk in there. I might just put an airlock door in here and then maybe just set up a quick oxygen station in here because this isn't going to be too huge and not require a whole bunch of power. I'm going to deal with oxygen later because whatever. Anyways, in here we have the portal room, as you've probably seen. It's got 2 layers separated by some clear glass. Portal controller is going to go right here. The actual portal is going to go here. And then right down here is going to be an RTG. On some of these ones in the middle, probably this one, I'm going to put an oxygen vent. And then back here is where we're going to put the oxygen for this area. I am going to try to separate these 2 rooms and have them each be oxygenated by themselves. But we're going to have to deal with that on the actual server because this is not built in the space dimension. It is built in the overworld. So we'll deal with oxygen on the server, that's fine. Over here we have an empty room. This is where all of the machines are going to go. And of course we have another corridor over here that we're just going to wall off with an airlock door. That is the space station completely built, so let's go ahead and copy it over, gather materials, and build this thing. The station has been copied over and we got some pretty extensive resource lists. I did have to split it into 3 pieces, 1 half with the portal room, 1 half with the empty room where all the machines and other structures are going to go, and then the core, that little connector in the middle. This is the thing we're actually going to launch into space as the station because this will be like the building block for all the other parts of the space station. So we'll get to that later. For now, why don't we go ahead and gather all the materials, and then we can prepare to actually launch. We need a bunch of different chiseled iron blocks, dark steel blocks, electrical steel blocks, chiseled lapis, and these station lights. Now the station lights, they do match the space station because they are from advanced rocketry, and all they take is glowstone and an iron sheet. So that's not too bad. Basically, we're going to have to craft a whole bunch of steel, a whole bunch of chiseled iron, and a whole bunch of blocks of lapis. We also are going to need 180 portal frames, 95 clear painted glass, and we're also going to need to actually get the portal, like the teleporter portal cores. That's not going to be too difficult, so I'm just going to go ahead and gather all these up, and then we can prepare to launch. Alrighty, resources have been gathered. It did take around half an hour to make all the steel that we needed for the dark steel and electrical steel. The auto crafting is rather slow when it comes to steel, so I did speed it up by putting 15 energy and speed upgrades into each of these alloy furnaces, and I split the electrical steel, dark steel, and the normal steel into 2 different ones, so it would go even faster. So now we actually need to build the station. So we need to go make a space station assembler. It is basically exactly the same as a rocket assembler, which we should be able to just place a copy of that right here. Nice! And there we go. That should be a functioning space station builder. Now it says missing satellite bay because we do actually need to put a satellite bay in this thing, I think. So the next thing we actually need to do is, place the actual station. Oh my god, I think it's just barely gonna fit. It just barely fits. Oh my god, that is incredible. Alright. Well, I am happy that I made it 7x7, otherwise we'd have to make it bigger. Okay, so let's go ahead and paste this in. Very nice. That is the core. Now, obviously, this is not airtight, and that is going to be a problem. We'll deal with that later. So, for now, we need to, I think... Well, let's just scan to make sure that this is a thing. Missing satellite bay. Now, I'm hoping we can just kind of place this in here, and then it just kind of works. Oh, wait, no. We have to put the satellite bay, I think, inside of here. And then we need to put some of those station ID chips. Put those in there, and then scan. Oh, yep, that looks like it's working. Now, please don't run out of power. Okay, there we go. Ready. Build. All right, hopefully it copies all 4 of those chips over because it is going to be nice to have some extra chips just in case something goes wrong. But there we go. Space station container and a ID chip. Now, I do need to figure out how to copy this. All we need to do now is to build a rocket, place this space station container on it as a block, because I'm pretty sure you can place these, and then it should just work. Or we need some kind of hangar bay. I don't know. I'll go look into that, and then I'll either use this rocket, build another one, or something, and then we'll get prepared to launch. Alrighty, well, after a little bit of looking it up, all you really have to do is put this inside of a satellite bay, and the rocket should just land right on the space station that doesn't exist yet. Alrighty, in goes the fuel, and this does now have a satellite bay. So let's put the actual satellite in there. So now all we have to do is put a space station ID chip in the guidance computer. Now, unfortunately, I did accidentally click add new, and I can't seem to delete or clear this. So I'm gonna hope that it's fine. But if not, there's just gonna be a space station landing right there. Yeah, I really hope this has nothing to do with it. But, I mean, maybe we'll end up at 1317 by -65. So I don't know. Yep, we should be able to get on this. Space Station 1, and, well, I mean, screw it. Let's go. I got my oxygen tank. Ooh, I almost forgot the actual space station materials. That's probably important to bring. Let's go ahead and bring those. Okay, I also might need an angel block depending on how I actually copied those. I actually have no idea how I copied them, so I probably need an angel block in case I misplaced it. Another thing that I did just now notice. The portal turned off. Why? I did have the chunk loader upgrade. Yeah, the anchor. So why did it turn off? That is not good. Lucky for me, I did save the moon as a waypoint on my shovel, just in case something like this happened. So we can actually go warp here real quick and take a look what happened. There's a link now? I guess it just wasn't loaded. This has a chunk loader in it, though, so I don't know what's going on. Oh, also, we do have a whole bunch of dilithium now, so that's good. About 13 stacks. Yeah, that's not good. So maybe on server restart, it doesn't automatically reload that chunk. So I think my whole portal idea isn't actually going to work, which is a bit disappointing. But, I mean, I could just build them all, set them up, and then just have some Osgogloss backups just in a chest somewhere, just in case we ever need to go back or we need to reactivate some portals, or if this happens again. Always good to have backups, right? Which is why I made a shovel, by the way, so I can make a backup to my space station. All right, let's go ahead and head to this space station. We are going to Station 1. Hopefully, I do not crash and burn into the Earth, because technically I did save the coordinates right there. And welcome to the space dimension. Now, unfortunately, as you can see by the y coordinate, if we press space to descend, it does kind of just like lock me back up to 1000. Yep, there you go. It keeps going back up because it's lagging just a little bit. It's got to render the dimension, you know. Can you see the station? Oh my god, it's actually right there. Nice. Boom. We have made it to the space station. Now, does my angel ring still work? It does. Thank goodness for that. All right, well, here is our little space station right now. Isn't this neat? Okay, yeah, this is not good. Okay, another thing that I did see, we're not orbiting a planet right now, which is a little interesting. We're kind of just floating here, so interesting. All right, anyways, let's stop yapping. Let's actually get the buildings placed. And boom, that should be lined up. Let's just go double check to make sure this is actually, you know, lined up. Let's just go down into here real quick. Let's see. Yep, walking around. This looks correct. Yep, I think that's good. Let's go ahead and place the first half of the space station down. Nice, and I really should start switching off of the paste gadget. It looks so much cooler when it's building like that. Alrighty, and I think that's lined up. Again, let's go inside here and just take a look. Yes, that looks to be good. Let's just move it out by one, move it back in. Everything should be lined up. Alright, let's go ahead and place the second half with the portals in it. Yeah, that looks way better. Why didn't I do that earlier? All right, well, now there is one problem that I really didn't think about that I'm going to have to deal with. Well, there's a few problems that I'm going to have to deal with. How do I get in? From outside. Now, there are small airlock doors from advanced rocketry. It's just steel plates, and these will not let oxygen go through them. We do actually need to have 2 of them, though, to make a proper airlock, so I'll probably go ahead and make like maybe 5 or 6 of these. We're also going to need to actually have oxygen in the area. The way you do that is with those air vents. I'm going to go ahead and get a whole bunch of those set up. Going to get some airlock doors probably on both sides of this area right here. And then I'm also going to get ahead and move the moon teleporter into the actual space station, just so, you know, we can have the first portal room activated and probably do a couple other various things. So once we cut back, the space station will be mostly operational. Alrighty, we are back. Now I'm starting over here on top of the rocket because I realized I needed a place to put the portal that actually goes to the space station from the normal overworld. And what better place to put that than inside the nose cone of the rocket? Let's go ahead and head in here, and this will lead us straight to the space station. Very nice. Here we are. Now, as you can see, if I take my spacesuit off, I can still breathe in here. That's because I set up some oxygen for all of the compartments. The 2 solar panel arrays, that portal room, and this place right here all have their own separate oxygen system. It's pretty simple. We just need an infinite water source, electrolytic separator, decondensator to turn this into liquid oxygen, and then an oxygen vent. All right, let's see. Over here in the portal room, got this all set up as well. As you can see, we have the moon portal right here. I am going to put a block from each of the planets I go to right in front of the portal, just so I know, you know, what portal is what. This is obviously the moon because it has moon turf on it. The oxygen for this is right there behind that portal. Kind of nice to hide it, you know. Now, speaking of traveling to other planets, the next thing we need to do is actually do that. So that is what we are doing. We now need to build the thing that actually selects which planet to go to, and then the actual warp drive to actually take us there. First thing we should do is, you know, probably build the warp controller. And as you can see, you can select where you want to go. Now, this thing does not actually work right now because we don't actually have the warp drive built. So let's go ahead and do that. And there we have it. That is the actual warp core in itself. A pretty cool little 3D model right there. I am quite a big fan of this. The thing that you actually use to fuel this is dilithium, which is why we went to the moon. I went ahead and processed all the ore we had. We now have 35 stacks of dilithium crystals, and I'm just going to automatically pipe this straight into the warp drive. You can now select planet. Wow, okay, look at all of these planets we have here. Okay! There is also a planet list over here. Very nice. So let's see. Or let's just select Mercury, and then we can warp our station to actually orbit Mercury, which is pretty cool. Now, I did realize I have built this completely off-center from the rest of the base, which is kind of annoying. So I'm thinking, why don't I go ahead and get this decorated, make sure I have everything ready to actually go exploring planets, and then we'll just go knock these all out. Basically, all we're going to do, we're going to place the flag that we did on the moon, we are going to place a portal, and we are going to walk around a little bit on the remaining 19 planets. I have no idea what any of them look like, as I've been to literally none of them, so I'm kind of excited to do this. So let me go get prepared, and then we can start warping. Alrighty, that is a much better place for the war core. I also added a little bit of decoration. I have no idea if these block of iron chiseled to look like space are going to stay. They look nice for now, and honestly, that's the only thing I had in my inventory at the time. So, good enough for me. This thing should have 4 stacks of fuel in it, so we should be able to select one. So, again, let's select a planet. And honestly, I think we will just start from the top. Earth, obviously, we have been there before. There's just the moon to visit. How about Mercury? That sounds like a pretty good place. We have 1,000 fuel. It costs 79. Let's go ahead and hit warp. Giving it all she's got. Flight of the Phoenix. Are we moving? I can't really tell. We're currently nowhere. Let's go outside and see what happens. Hopefully I don't get, like, left behind. Oh my god, wait. You can actually kind of see out there. Okay. I kind of want to step outside, right? If you think I'll just get flung, or... Okay. Thank goodness I don't get, like, flung. Oh... Looks like we have arrived. We are currently orbiting Mercury. Nice. All right, so now to actually get to a planet, we have to use our rocket. Press space to take off. Destination Mercury. Works for me. Oh, and here we are on Mercury. It looks to be very hot and very inhospitable here. Let's go ahead and take a look at atmosphere type. Very hot. Breathable? No. Ash block. It's completely covered in ash. We got lava pools everywhere. I also saw some red stuff over here. What is this? Nether wart. We also got an interesting mountain range over here. Now, it is currently nighttime, so we probably can't see anything, and it's probably for the better, because I feel like if it was sunny out, we would be getting scorched to death. There also appears to be pyrotheum lakes everywhere, which is pretty cool. Alright, anyways, so let's go ahead and build the portal and the flag for this place. And also, I'm going to take this ash block right here. Hopefully I can turn this back into an ash block. Good, and that'll be our marker for Mercury. Let's go ahead and set the Oscilloglass respawn point, just in case. There we go. And then let's build the portal and the flag. What is happening here? That was weird. I was just mining the flag because I built it too big, and it just warped me to the moon for no reason. Apparently if I fly up in this area, it just like takes me to the moon. And it goes into my mechanism teleporter. I don't know what's going on. What is over here? A dragon. What are you doing? Why is there a dragon on Mercury? You know what? I don't know, but bro's just gonna stay there because I ain't dealing with that. All right, Mercury has been visited. Let's just go through this portal just to be sure that it does in fact work. Yes, it does. Let's go ahead and place the ash block here so that we know it is Mercury. And there we go. I'd say that concludes our trip to Mercury. Why don't we go ahead and head back to the space station? And we are back. And also, the fuel has not gone down at all. I don't know if my rocket is bugged out or if this thing is just extremely efficient with UU matter. Now, here's a thing to think about, right? As we can see on the planet list, there aren't very many planets, but there are a lot of them on the JEI world generation thing. As you can see right here, Luna, Kelt 2AB, Kelt 3, Proxima B, Titan. Those aren't listed on there. So what I think we need to do is we need to go to our rocket and put in the planet ID chip and then select a planet. Select destination. Is there anything around Mercury? No, it is just Mercury. Okay. All right, well, since we have in fact gone to Mercury, the next stop is Venus. I also just went ahead and installed some windows in this little panel over here. If the door would let me in, please. Thank you. We can watch everything that's happening out these windows instead of going outside to do it. And there we go. Looks like we are now orbiting Venus. So let's go ahead and head out to the rocket and land. And here we are on Venus. It looks very, very similar to Mercury. Okay, I don't know why dragons really like to exist in these areas, but I guess they do. Alright, anyways, ooh, the gravity's a lot stronger here. Looks like it's about the same as Earth gravity, which is, yep, that's to be expected. Alright, yep, looks basically exactly the same as Mercury. We are in a volcanic island. That is the biome here. I don't know if there's any more biomes. I guess I could just kind of start wandering. Maybe we'll find something else, but from what I've seen, most likely it's all going to be volcanic islands. Although this cave system is pretty cool, I will say that much. And I do like that there's this kind of like fog that if you go up a certain height, you can no longer see the ground. That is pretty cool. All right, well, a little bit of looking around. It looks just to be volcanic island biome. All right, let's go ahead and get everything set up, and then we can head on to the next place. Alrighty, there we go. Venus has been, in fact, colonized. And another thing I noticed while I was building this, the atmosphere says breathable, so I'm just going to take off my helmet. Yeah, you can definitely breathe here. I feel like this is not lore accurate. Let's go ahead and check if there is anything else to go on Venus. There is not, so we are done here. And the portal is in fact active as well. We're going to put an ash block there because it's the exact same biome, so, you know, Mercury, Venus, it doesn't really matter that much. And also, if we do go to the wrong one, we can just go back. It's not that big a deal. Next up, we are going to warp to the next place. That next place is most likely going to be Mars. And we are now orbiting Mars. It's just Mars. No Phobos and no Deimos? I guess we can't go there. Huh, I'm beginning to wonder if the other places actually exist. Looks like we are arriving on Mars in the dark. It looks very similar to the moon, except it's made out of Mars dirt and not moon dirt. Unless this is terracotta, I can't really tell. Oxidized ferric sand. That is what this is made of. Let's go ahead and mine one of these, and we can use this for the marker. Alright, let's go ahead and place the portal on the flag. And there we have it. The flag has been placed. And as you can see, it is currently daytime. And now I have a feeling there's not going to be much more on Mars other than Mars. Yeah, probably not going to find much here. Anyways, so let's check one thing. How do you get these cloth rates? Because we do need to do these. You know, that's kind of the whole point. Okay, no idea how to get to any of those planets. Ooh, energized netherrack was on Mercury, so we may want to go back to Mercury or Venus to find that. And we can find the resonant endstone stuff here on Mars, so it might be worth digging around a little bit. And it looks like we have some right here. Very nice. Let's go ahead and just vein mine around the area. Decent amount right here. I'm just going to grab a little bit. We don't really need a whole lot right now. Eventually, we'll probably come back with a digital miner if we need more. Now, it did say that it needs silk touch, so let's use our silk touch pickaxe and get some energized cloth rate. Now, that is a quest, but it is, unfortunately, we have to actually get the stuff first, so that's unfortunate. We could also mine one piece normally and see what happens. Maybe we just get it. Yep, it looks like you do, so there you go, resonant cloth rate. We also apparently need to find ender draconium ore, which does exist on Mars, except very low. So I'm probably just going to go dig straight down somewhere because I'm lazy. Oh, well, that was very lucky. Look at that. We found a whole vein of it right here. Oh, never mind. It must be super common, right? Oh, yeah, it's super common down here. It's everywhere. Oh, snap. Okay, hold on. Let's find out. You think it'd be better to use fortune on this? It's all 1-to-1, so yep, fortune, definitely. May as well grab some extra draconium. It's down here after all. And let's grab one with silk touch. Apparently we need manuelium mining level, which is unfortunate, so I'm going to have to go get that. And here we go. I just fortified it with some osgloss. And there we go. Nice. Next couple ones we need to go back and grab energized cloth rate, and then we need to find the redstone one, and then also we can just grab iridium, and we're going to have to find rutile. I don't know where rutile is going to be. Let's go look. Basically, all these places I actually have no idea where to go, so we're going to have to figure out how to get there. Anyways, I think that just about concludes business for Mars, so let's go ahead and head back to the station. And there we have our portal set up for Mars with the oxidized ferric sand. Well, since our business is concluded with Mars, let's go to the next place on the list, Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is probably going to have a whole bunch of moons. It better. All right, let's go. And there we go. That is very white. Oh boy. Can you actually land on the surface of Jupiter is the real question. Yep, and Jupiter does have two moons, Io and Europa, so we will be heading there. But I think we're going to attempt to land on Jupiter first. I feel like if it's letting me do it, I'll probably survive it, although maybe not. There it is. This is a gas giant after all, and you will get crushed by gravity, so whatever. I guess we're gonna find out. Destination unreachable. Okay, you know what? That's probably for the better. Let's select a destination. Which one do we want to go to first? Io or Europa? You know what? Let's go to Europa, the icy one. Interesting. It appears Europa is a giant frozen ocean biome. Is there actually ice on the surface, or is it water? Is my rocket going to go straight into an ocean? Oh, it is actually ice. Is it all ice? Nope, it is water under here. And there's Jupiter. Huh. Europa literally just is a giant frozen ocean. There is literally nothing, and it is completely flat and made of ice. I don't know what I expected. That's basically what Europa is. Anyways, basically, our work here is done, and there is no reason to stay here. So, let's go back to the station. Well, next stop, Io. No waiting around for nothing. And it looks like Io is very similar to the moon in the fact that it is a regolith biome. Luckily for me, I used the dark regolith for the moon, so I can use the normal regolith for Io. Yep, not much else to do here. We can go back now. Well, since there are no more planets on Jupiter, we are going to the next place, Saturn. And we have arrived. Oh, and I'm already a huge fan of this. There's rings, and you can actually see them from space. Yep, this is cool. Now, of course, Saturn is also a gas giant, and we are going to try to take off, but it's probably going to give us an invalid launch like the other one did. Figured. And it looks like there's only one place to go on Saturn, and that is Titan. And looks to me another one similar to the moon. We got regolith highlands as the biome. And you can even see the rings from the planet, which is very cool. I am a fan of this. Well, my work here is done. One last thing. The ring is getting larger and smaller depending on the time of day. And I think that is a very cool detail. Well, Saturn is done. Next place is going to be Uranus. Well, that was a relatively quick one. Oh, and I am on the ground. Okay, interesting. That was, interesting. I may be causing some server lag by going to every single planet that exists. We are currently in an Alps biome, and there is not much over here. It looks to be all snow. 10 layers of snow to get down here. Wow. And looks like gravity is about the same. All right, get the usual stuff down. Yep, there we go. Nothing else eventful on Uranus here. So let's just go ahead and head back. Since Uranus is done, there is one final destination to go to, and that would be Neptune. Now, I am starting to wonder how you get half the other things. I don't really know how you get to, like, Stella or Proxima b or any of those Kelt asteroids. I don't even know if you can go to those. I will have to do a little bit of research after we go to Neptune here, assuming that Neptune doesn't have 15 different celestial bodies. I doubt it does, though, and there's only Neptune to go to. Sweet. Yep, no idea how to get to any of those other places. Oh, and we have landed. Okay, there we go. Whoa, what is that? If I could get off my rocket, please. Looks like gravity's pretty strong here. Actually feels stronger than usual. We also got some cryothium right here, and we got some super cooled ice. Ooh, wow, that is... I think it's actually pretty difficult to get. And then we also have this, like, building over here. Is this what I think it is? Yep, that is what I think it is. Well, this, for those of you who don't know what this is a ice and fire endgame dungeon. You are not able to enter unless you have a key, although I probably could figure out a way to teleport in somehow, but there is a partial dragon forge in there and a lot of difficult to get loot, and this is completely indestructible. So yeah, that's a bit interesting, and I guess that does make sense given we are in an Alps biome, but still kind of surprising to see that here. All right, well, I guess I will go ahead and build the usual stuff, grab a piece of super cooled ice, because that's what we're going to use to identify this place, and we'll head on our merry way. Well, unfortunately, breaking the super cooled ice with your pickaxe does turn it into water, and that completely overwrote the cryothium lake there, so that is a shame. I guess we'll just use a normal snow block. Anyways, everything else is good to go. Nothing interesting over here except for a huge dragon skeleton that I didn't even see until right now. That thing is huge. Ice dragon. Wow, no kidding. Wait, do you think ice dragons actually spawn here? I might have to fly around and look real quick. Yep, I knew it. I knew there would be dragons here. Cool. Yep, you're mine. Come here. Well, if I ever want to have blue dragon armor, I definitely can make some now. I don't know why I'd need that. I mean, it does look cool, but then again, you know, we got armor from different mods here. They look cooler anyway, and they actually function, so I think we'll just stick with those. All right, I think we can go ahead and head out. Now, we do need to figure out how to get to the other places because I obviously don't know how to get there, so once we get back to the station, we are going to have to do a little bit of research to figure that out. And there we go. We have traveled to all of the planets that I currently know how to get to. We've got them all lined up, and the portal room is looking pretty cool. Alrighty. There's a couple things that I want to do right before I figure out how to go to the hidden places, so to speak. We still need to find energized netherrack and destabilized redstone as per the quests, so let's just go ahead and do that. Energized clothrate is from the energized netherrack, which we can find on Mercury and Venus. So we'll go to Mercury and look for that. See if we can find some. Yep, I definitely found some. Vein mine to save the day. All right, let's see. Now, if we mine this with a normal pickaxe, we will, of course, get the stuff. And there goes the energized glowstone straight up to the ceiling. Cool. There is some clothrate, and let's grab a piece with our silk touch pickaxe as well to get that second quest knocked off. Just kidding, we didn't actually need a piece of that. We needed nether draconium, which probably should spawn here. I would assume so, considering it's like the next step. Yep, Mercury. We just got to go down to Y9. Well, here we are at the bottom of the world. Let's just hit a vein mine real quick, and there's some right there. You know, it is a real shame that I can't see anything because it's so dark, and I don't have my night vision anymore because I am wearing a spacesuit, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but oh well. Go ahead and mine this with our silk touch pickaxe so we can actually pick it up as the block and knock off that quest. Very nice. And I honestly don't need that much more draconium right now, so we'll just leave it. If we need more, we know where to go. Alrighty, well that is it for Mercury. The last thing we need to find is the destabilized clothrate, which is from the redstone. And that can be found on Terra Nova, Europa, Kelt 2AB, Proxima B, and Stella. Luckily for me, we can just go to Europa. And this is going to be very fun because this is quite literally just a large ocean. I think I'm going to go ahead and just kind of fill it in with cobblestone so we can actually have a place to go down. Oh, I found some right there. Look at that. Well, that was easy. All right, well, yoink. Pour destabilized redstone all over the ground and pick up some clothrate. All we have to do now is find rutile. That is technically titanium ore, so let's go ahead and find out where that is. I did go ahead and bookmark it so I wouldn't forget. Kelt 2AB, Stella, Europa, and Terra Nova Proxima B. And guess what? We're already on Europa. We just have to go to Y25, and we are already here, so we just gotta look around, I guess. Oh, here we go. Right here. That is pretty hidden. All right, well, let's go ahead and mine that. Rutile has been acquired, which means the advanced rocketry quest tree is complete. Would you look at that? That was a long time coming, but we have done it. All it is left to do is figure out how to actually go to the other planets, and then we'll just go there and, you know, put our flag down. Just take a look around, and then we'll call it for the episode. All right, a lot of deep digging later. It turns out this information isn't really readily available because it's extremely obvious. Anyways, to get to all of the other planets that I don't know how to find, you hit the up button to increase your view. That was pretty obvious, and I just didn't see it because I'm stupid. So, anyways, we have access to Proxima Centauri HD 63776 and HD 42176, containing 7, 4, and 3 planets respectively. And so if we add those up, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That doesn't really make a lot of sense because there's 11 portals left, so I may have designed this wrong, but you know what? That is fine. Why don't we just go ahead and head over to one of these places? Why don't we go ahead and start with Proxima Centauri, as it has the most planets. So we can't select Proxima Centauri itself, but we can select all of the places here. So let's go ahead and start with Terra Nova. Yeah, that took quite a while, and I'm not actually sure where we are or what happened to half my inventory. Anyways, I guess let's go launch to Proxima B then. Oh, this is a very, very odd place. There's just random crystals everywhere. Okay, it is not breathable. There's ice and snow basically everywhere, and there's crystals. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to take one of these purple ones. And we're going to use this as the marker for this place. Yep, there we go. Everything has been put in place. Now I am going to just fly around a little bit to see what's up. Is it just all crystals here? Very weird. Huh. I don't know about this place, you know. Are they hollow or are they solid? Oh, they're completely solid. Okay. I think that's just about it for this place as well. And we don't need to find any more ores. We're just here to enjoy the experience. So, yeah, we've seen the crystals. And honestly, yeah, that's probably good to be good enough. This place is slightly creepy. So why don't we just leave? Proxima B's haunted. And just like that, we have completed our first floor of portals. Next up on the planet list is Terra Nova. And this planet looks to be purple. Oh my god, there's actually trees here, and the atmosphere is completely purple magenta. Wow! Well, this is a cool place, and, best part about this, it's breathable! So we don't have to waste oxygen. This is a pretty cool place. I'm gonna go fly around a little bit, because apparently we're in the crag biome. Got some pretty cool caves, we got a bunch of trees. These look to be, forestry trees. Silver lime, stuff like that. This is pretty neat. Well, I'll go ahead and say it. I'm a big fan of this planet. This is cool. And I'm going to go ahead and place the portal and the flag right up here. Yep, very nice. That will do just fine. Now let me go ahead and grab my Silk Touch pickaxe as well. So I can grab one of these overgrown stone blocks. So I can use that as the identifier. Sweet. Now let me not forget to put my spacesuit back on, and then we can head on to the next place. Alrighty, next up is Novus. This planet looks very similar to Mars in color. I wonder if it'll have the same material on it. Let's find out. And it looks to be another relatively hot planet, just like Mercury and Venus. Yep, everything's done. Not a real point to stick around here anymore. We've seen planets like this already. Next planet on the list is Stella. Stella looks to be another purpley planet. Oh my god, this is a really cool planet. It's got lakes, it's got huge trees. I landed in the tree. Wait, is this where the sacred oaks come from? Is that what this is? Oh, nice. So that's where these come from. Okay. I'm a fan of this planet. Got a really nice atmospheric glow as well. Got a nice pond. Is this like spring water? It gave me regeneration when I sit in it. May want to come grab a bucket of that. Plus we got all these flowers too, like this Rafflesia. This place is cool. I'm a big fan. Yep, and I even set up the flag and portal on top of one of the giant trees. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move on to the next place. Oh, wait. We got fairies. Pixie. What are you from, Pixie? Ice and Fire. Right, yeah, Pixie villages exist. They live in these little houses, too. And it seems as if my helmet has disappeared. Gonna bite the bullet and launch back in, and if I start suffocating, then we know what happened. Yep, oddly enough, Oh, there we go. Now I'm suffocating. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to make a new one, because I have no idea where it went. Well, next up is Feluca. And this looks to be another orange planet, but the last time we went there, it was volcanic, so I guess we'll see what happens. Alright, yeah, this is a rather odd one. No atmosphere, but there's wood, but there's no leaves? Charcoal log. So I think there's just no leaves here. Like maybe someone just came along and just sucked the atmosphere off of this place. Rather odd. It's also very dark. All right, there we go. It is currently now daytime, and yeah, it literally just is an entire planet completely filled with leafless trees. That's it. You know what could have happened? It could have the atmosphere could have just burned. And that's why all of these trees are made of charcoal. I'm not really sure, but I mean, there we go. We've been here. It's hot, and we'll mark the portal with a charcoal log. Okay, let's get out of here. Next up, we are going to Hubble. Well, we got another pink one. Let's see if it's actually pink. Interestingly enough, Hubble isn't actually a place you can go, which does actually make sense because I did not see it on the World Generation GEI page. So we can go ahead and check if there are any planets orbiting it. There are not, so we basically came here for absolutely no reason. Well, I guess that means we are off to Twilight. Hopefully this is an actual planet. I think I figured out why it's called Twilight. This is the Twilight Forest. No point sticking around here or even making a portal because we have a portal in the front yard. And with Twilight being visited, that is the last place we need to go for the Alpha Centauri system. All right, let's head to HD 63776 next. And we can go to Kelt for a B. I'm already a fan of this one because it has some rings. Let's go. Oh, and here we are. It looks like another very cold place. Just like all the other cold places we had. Alright, nothing new here. I know there is some ore here that we may need, but we already have other places to get it, and we have all that we need for now already. Yep, I'd say everything is good to go here. On to the next place. Next up on the list is Kelt 6A. Well, this one looks like it has water and green land masses, so maybe this will be a habitable place. Well, I can say with complete certainty it is not habitable. This is a regolith biome. Once you've seen a regolith planet, you've seen him a million times, so let's head to the next place. Next up on the planet list is Kepler 0118. Odds that this orange planet is actually orange? Let's find out. Alright, well that's an interesting turn of events. I think I landed on top of a mountain. It looks to be another ash block biome. And yeah, I definitely landed on top of a mountain. Okay, you know what? At least that one's a pretty cool landing site, right? Again, once you've seen one, you've seen them all. No need to stick around here, build the usual stuff, and head out. Although, I will say the difference between this volcanic one and all the other ones is this one has rings, so at least that's pretty cool. And last but not least in this system, Kepler 0119. Odds another orange planet is actually orange. Let's find out. I cannot believe it. The orange planet is finally actually orange. No way, dude. I can't believe it. I never thought I'd see the day. There's probably nothing else out here, so we can go ahead and put down the usual stuff and skedaddle. Well, another Mars planet down. Let's head out. Next up, we are going to the last place, HD 42176. Apparently, there are 3 planets here. We got Kelt 1b, Kelt 2ab, and Kelt 3. Let's just head to the first one, Kelt 1b. Alrighty, well, this planet is very green and has very large rings, so let's find out what it is. Well, I guess we'll never know. Well, that's a bit unfortunate because this green is very green and it's very cool. Well, it is good that 1b is a gas giant. That means I did do my portal calculations right. Anyways, let's go to Kelt 2ab. All right, well, this planet is very like blue-gray with some kind of green thing up there in the corner. Not really sure. Let's find out what it's like down there. Well, looks to be another frozen ocean planet. Yep, I won't lie. The server is dying at the moment. Stuff like this has been happening all the time. So, I would not recommend going to every single planet that exists in a mod pack within the span of like 2 hours, because the server literally starts I can't even move my mouse. Bro, it is dying, man. There's 1 planet left. Let's just get this over with. Alright, flags in, portals in, the server's dying. I literally freeze frame like that every 15 seconds or so, so let's try to hurry this up and get this episode over with. Server's on its last limbs, and there's 1 planet left, Kelt 3. Let's go there. Oh my god, this is so bad. Bro, come on, move. Got another orange one. Will it actually be orange? No idea. Did it just freeze in place again? Yes, I did. Now, another thing to point out right as we're launching here, this hasn't used a single ounce of fuel. I think I bugged my rocket out somehow, and I'm not really sure how I did it. But you know what? That's fine. I don't really care. Well, you can barely see it, but it looks to be another Mars-like planet. Please stop getting stuck on the rocket. Yep, we got ferric sand here. The gravity is quite strong here, though. Brother, this is... Oh, it's day now. Okay, yep, that's currently how this is going. Anyways, let's place this flag in for the last time. Put the eyes on it. And that is it. We have visited every single planet that advanced rocketry has to offer. Hallelujah. There's some pretty neat ones out there. There were some duplicates out there. All in all, I'd say it was a pretty good experience, minus my server absolutely dying. Let's go ahead and head back to the space station, link this portal up, and then we will call it a day. Oh, come on. We were right there, dude. Ugh. Boom. Would you look at that? Every single portal in here is currently active. This is amazing. Let's go, dude. And with that being done, I think advanced rocketry is complete. All we have left to do is warp back to Earth, because that's probably a good idea to leave my space station orbiting Earth so the rocket can actually get there from Earth. And then that will be it. Honestly, I think that is going to be it for this episode. Advanced rocketry is pretty cool. The only thing that I don't like about it is the fact that it takes so long to travel to different places sometimes. I was sitting there for maybe 4 minutes traveling from the Sol system to Alpha Centauri. I don't know if that's built in. I don't know if that's a rendering thing. I don't really know, but it was really annoying. That's going to be it for this episode. Next episode, I am probably going to start doing Ender IO, because that is the next tech mod that we need to do in the quest tree. If we go into the gates here, yep, Ender IO is right here. Draconic Evolution we're going to leave for last because that is pretty complicated, and PSI, all we really have to do is get a CAD assembly. There isn't a actual gate for this. So there we go. That's going to be it for this episode. Next episode is going to be Ender IO, and I'm going to restart the server before it starts a fire. Goodbye.